now that I have sufficiently abused my chat shenanigans, I can begin everything that I want to do today. Okay, so we're gonna start with, oh, not that. We're gonna keep this in the back of my pocket, just in case. But if I bring it out, does it go to, nope, okay, that's good. It only keeps track of one burp. It only keeps track of one Scrivener project. Okay. Let's delay a little bit more and find some kind of music that I will listen to as I create. Oh man, the choices. Let's go with Harmonious Bosch. But music has always been a very helpful thing. Alright, when does it begin? There. Alright, let's begin. We're going to have two main characters for this NaNoWriMo. We're going to have Kobold, and we're going to have Ratfolk. Specifically, a rat sawbones. This person, this Kobold, is going to be either a librarian or clutch keeper. I don't know what those are yet. We're also gonna have another couple. Swarzy elf. No. Let's. I'm actually doing this to combine two projects. So I need Pete and Tutu. Okay. So there's that. And Pete the Goblin Censor. Alright. So, what I've done using Scrivener is create on the sidebar for the binder four main characters that will impact this story. So right now I'm going to be creating an outline for exactly what is going to occur in this little tiny snippet of hopefully 15,000 words. And once we do that, we will dive straight into writing it, hopefully at the forefront of November's beginning. So, we already know that one of these places is going to be a harbor city. And this harbor city is going to be very well packed, very well organized. Because what we want to do for NaNoWriMo is we don't want to get caught up in the details. Hello! Hello! It's good to see you. I'm happy to see you. Because NaNoWriMo is notorious for having folks start it immediately and then almost as fast you get too scared and you can't continue writing because, gosh darn it, it's downright the most terrifying thing that someone can expect you to do. So what we're going to do is we've got four characters, and we're going to go ahead and make a new tiny little document. We're going to call this document the pitch. And what we'll do with this explicitly is we're going to write as this is sort of D&D stuff. I'm going to copy what Travis Baldree did with Legends and Lattes and just make a cozy fantasy. There's this... Travis Baldree has created this literary genre, almost, overnight, of very gentle, soothing, and low-stakes, high fantasy stories. And I feel like I already have enough projects that are as serious as, you know, fighting fascism, destroying persecution and prejudice and poverty. I'd like to join the camp of, I would like to see these two little creatures hold hands and maybe get something delicious to eat. So, cozy fantasy, low stakes, high fantasy, gentle feelings. And number one, close steam. Do not let steam remain on. Relax in fantasies. Precisely. So, unfortunately, I have this habit of, it's difficult. I can organize my thoughts when I'm not writing. I can organize everything that I want to do when I'm not at the keyboard. And this is a habit that I need to break, so that's why I'm streaming, because there's no better way to keep yourself engaged with your creative work style by doing it publicly. So yeah, let's get started. Let's figure this out. Okay, so let's make the text bigger so everyone can see. Oh boy, time for cozy fantasy. Alright. So, let's go ahead and, I already have an idea that I'm going to pitch for this. Legends and Lattes. Definitely look at Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. It is a fantastic book from what I can ascertain. And also, Travis Baldree is an absolutely god-like narrator. I recommend the Cradle series. That is by far the #1 book series that I have been consuming for the past 4 years. That is written by Will White, and it is an astounding. The way Will White describes it is Avatar: The Last Airbender meets just read it. That's all I'll say, because if I try to get too high into what makes it its genre, I'm sorry about this. I have to move the mic. Okay. Then I might spoil you guys, and also I might get off track. Yeah, the Cradle series by Will White. I should just make a fucking command for it, because that's probably going to be the best. I am in a Will White fan club of my own making. Everybody at the Equestrian Center has at least heard me tell the story of the Cradle series just by asking me what I listen to while I'm mucking stalls. And yeah, these books, I think there's 11. I think the 12th one is going to come out next year sometime. It's the final book in the series. And this is a book series that I have not experienced a book series that I am a part of for the long haul. I think I started listening to the audiobooks around the sixth or seventh book, and waiting for each book felt like waiting for either the Animorphs book series when I was very young and Scholastic book fairs were tumultuous times, the Pendragon series, which was likewise tumultuous to wait for, or, as everybody else experienced, the Harry Potter series, which only got more and more disappointing as each book came forward. Unlike those books, Will White knocks it out of the park every time. And unlike J.K. Rowling, he's not a fucking turf. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get back to what we were doing, the pitch. So, we need this to not only clear out what we need to get across, but we also need to... Where did I put? I do have a note list of things that I definitely need to do, and unfortunately, I don't organize it very well. So all of my good writer notes are hiding every. Okay, here's this. Okay, so a lot of my writer notes are spread out through the many projects I have started and failed to put all in one very handy document. So we're going to use Souvenir. It's my favorite. And we're going to go ahead and figure out who our characters are. Every story... Wheel of Time. I have only gotten part of the way through the first Wheel of Time, and I don't know if I will ever be able to get through the rest of it. But waiting for your author's book to come out is like one of the most like satisfying things, and also just one of the most... It's almost one of the most beleaguering tortures, unless you have a fandom to talk to. These days we have the internet, but usually I did not know where the forums for all the book series like Animorphs was, so I had to hide by my lonesome. And every time an advertisement for Pendragon or Animorphs came up, I always got the other kids looking at me. It was really, really annoying. Because they were like, "You read?" And I was like, "Yes, AR points." Okay, so who are our characters? Well, I already know. One of them is a kobold, and another is a rat. Now, I don't have names for them yet, so let's go ahead and just get some temporary names. Kobold names. I do have some, like... I do have a few... You know how you always have, like, you always have, like, a catalog of names that you can reach out and grab? I have a few of those. But they're always attached to certain, like, character types. So I'm never certain if it'll be the right match or not. So let me actually go ahead into my D&D document. I have a giant D&D document for everything that I have assembled. Let's see, the first act, NPCs, and Braunfels, gangs, Crimson Wings, Gutter Wisps. Nope. Kobolds. Okay. Peakree. Okay, so Peakree and Palic. Maybe not Peakree. Izok. Okay, here's what we'll do. So, goodbye, Gallery of the Lord of Colors. So we'll have Palic and Izzy, short for Izok. So Izok will be the kobold, and Palic will be Viret. Please get rid of those equal signs. Okay, so here's what we have. We have two characters that are going to impact each other for this story. This story that I will write in a month. Yeah, I usually, behind the names is very handy, but name generators are always very fun and handy, because when I need a name for someone from, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, unfortunately, my genre of names are full of regions that were in the Ottoman Empire, so I have a lot of unfortunate history with the Ottoman Empire that I've learned over the years. Ooh. Let me know if the music is a little bit too loud. because Hyronious butt music was, in fact, yeah. Oh, what? Man, fuck publishers. Fucking anti-LGBTQ motherfuckers of the time and era. So, yeah, that's one thing that Cozy Fantasy is also going to do. It might lean into, you know, smaller struggles, but we're not going to tackle racism or prejudice against LGBTQ people. Not unless it's going to, like... So the Cozy Fantasy, we're not going to push a huge agenda here. We just want a cozy story of a nice fuzzy man meeting a hard scaly man, and they're both 3 feet tall, and they both have something very easy they need to get but can't for some reason. So here's the story. Here's the story. Fuzzy man meets a hard scaly man. Maybe not hard, because that's already denoting like a sort of like. Right now, we just want to look at the silhouettes of the story. We don't want to see the details. We just want to see what's sort of like, you know, what's the cover so far. What does the cover look like? So a fuzzy man meets a scaly man, and they fall in love. That's what I want to write. Easy. But that's boring. Like, I'm not here to write a Harlequin romance. I'm here to write a fantasy story about problems that a fuzzy man, a fuzzy rat, and a scaly kobold figure out. So now we already know 2 things about our characters. Number 1, they come from different cultures. They come from different places. And they might not understand each other first, but that could actually be something that draws them closer together. For instance, if Izak, who is our kobold, who's going to be called Izzy, as for short, probably, as we understand kobolds in fantasy settings, lives a very, like, tightly knit family life. I always imagine that kobolds are living in big cooperatives. They tackle huge projects as a unit, and when it comes to survival, they rely purely on each other for anything. You don't keep secrets from your family, and you serve the greater whole. There doesn't necessarily need to be a big dragon, but there might in fact be a big dragon for Izzy that they have left behind, along with their, I guess we'll call him Conclave. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Izzy. Izak is I love Ascending Birds. That's such a good song. You know, it's another good song. Let's get some Chrono Cross going. Okay, so Izak. Izak is a... Who are you, Izak? Izak is kobold who has left their conclave behind. Why? I imagine it's somewhere in the mountains and caves. Kobolds live in those types of places. They're very isolated. Probably to get something that is not easily attainable in their habitat. Could be honey. Initially, I imagined this as he needs to get a birthday cake for the big fucking dragon. So let's go ahead and just sort of like tiptoe into he's the only one experienced with travel to outsiders. Izzy just acquired the gargantuous amount of ingredients. cake for their protector. Protector! Gargantuan. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. This is fun. This is easy. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not great because I don't know what the core change that is going to occur. Let's just go ahead and do Palak next. Palak is alright. Alright. Sawbones. A rat with heavy secret. However, living on a merchant vessel sailing the 19 seas does little to prepare one's land legs for such performances. Alright, so Palak, he wants to be a dancer, and he wants to, maybe, yeah, and it's weird that you bring in Scurvy. Oh my god, Chavalan, you have done it. You have brought these two lonely creature boys together, only with the aid of Palak, a doctor of a brutish sailboat, of a merchant ship sounds stupid. We're gonna figure that out later. Of a boat, a doctor of a boat. Can Izzy acquire the proper sustenance to the dragon scurvy that plagues his conflict? Okay, so there's the story. There's a stupid, cool, fun, cute story. So, the dragons are well known to have fucking magical biology and magical magic, but fuck, dude, they still need that hot vitamin C. So Izzy needs to acquire. He basically, I imagine this has to be done every year. Okay, so now let's start a new one. Every year, Izzy of the So-So Conclave must venture to the harbor town of Knockoff City. Knockoff Shore. I don't know. Of Knockoff Rip. Tie. And bargain, wager, or steal enough juicy vitamin C objects to ward off the massive scurvy that will soon fall their dragon protector. So, something must have happened to the juicy vitamin C objects. Yeah, no, there are very concrete rules to any fantasy setting. Elves live forever. Magic uses spell slots, unless you hate that system, and everyone needs vitamin C or they die of scurvy. Okay, new song. This is going great. Give me the Arabian Waltz, please. Okay, so every year, Izzy of the So-So Conclave must venture to the harbor town of Knockoff, Riptide, and bargain, wager, or steal enough juicy vitamin C objects to ward off the massive scurvy that will soon befall their dragon protector. Only Palak of Rat. The only rat on the great vessel. Steal your homies. Can nail down his Hatton through all the vitamin C. But it might not just be vitamin C. Might not just be vitamin C that Izzy is searching for. Might be someone to fill the scurvy hole of comfort in his own heart. Rat wants to dance. Okay, great. That's great. See, we've already done 5 outlines, 5 little tiny outlines. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We can do a coffee refill. One sec. Coffee refill. Okay, coffee is refilled. Okay. So this is great. So what we've done is we have started with a single line and an idea of what sort of feelings we want to evoke in our story through our characters. We know a little bit more about our characters. Thankfully, there are only 2 of them right now. So what we need to do is we need to nail down how these characters see the world and how they can, how they're going to change. Because here's the thing, I'm going to turn on my fan because it's hot, but I'm going to teach you how to write a story. Yes, listen to the. No, my cereal. It's okay. Only a few Cheerios fell out. Okay, so here we got a story to write. We're also. Oh, really? I've started numerous books, numerous short stories, and only a few of them have been put out there. One of my greatest achievements was writing a fan fiction contest for John Dies at the End, which is a horror comedy book series, and the theme was make it Australian. And so I literally just wrote a story called that I didn't have a title for. I submitted it untitled, and the author read it, and I was one of the top 5. I think there were 8 winners in total, but I was the 5th one brought up, so I think I was, hooray! And he went ahead, this author that I respect and I value as being a very formative piece of my young adult writing as I was becoming, a college boy. He named my Australian fan fiction of his published work, "This Australian Guy Smells Like Turds." I've never been bestowed a greater honor. Okay, so you want to write a story. Here's what we need to do. we need to understand why people listen to stories. People listen to stories for entertainment. But they're not only being entertained, they are being transported. They are being immersed in what is happening in your story, and as long as you can keep up the illusion that this fantasy is worth their attention, to be glued to what's happening, you will be successful. So, here's what we need to do. We need to create this. This should really be the first note. Okay, so we need to create peak moments of change in our story. And that means we need to have the character start somewhere, and we need to learn how their world operates very quickly. Like a sentence, a paragraph. Because we're only going to have the first page to hook someone on our story. After that, you can make that peak as high and low as you want. But for this initial piece, we need to get it right. And to get it right, we need to know where we want to be at the end of the story. So, the story ends when Izzy and Halleck hold hands and deliver the lemon sorbet to the dragon. And then they both are happy. Okay, so there, that's our ending. Hooray! Okay, so that's following up to here, it's there. It's what it is. We don't want it to be what it is. We want it to be a peak. We want it to be a moment. So Izzy sees their world, their hallucinatory model of the world, as it's not about me. It's not about me. But what I want. It's all about, I have to sacrifice that for the good of the conclave. And Palak, his worldview is see, Izzy is avoiding the question. We're going to go back to Izzy and put in parentheses. Izzy is avoiding this question. Because this question, what Izzy wants, Izzy doesn't think it matters. Izzy sees the conclave as everything that matters. And that means they will refuse any kind of introspection that rises up, and they will be frightened of it. They will be uncomfortable with this approach to living, to life. They can't see a life outside of the conclave taking everything from him and him giving everything to the conclave. Palak has to be the opposite of that. Because what we know about the story so far and how it ends is that the two of them have to come together to solve the problem of vitamin C. The issue with that is it doesn't solve Izzy's problem. Getting the vitamin C solves the conclave's problem. And that's not where we're here to read the story. We're not here to experience that. Because that's not a very good lesson. That's not a very good moral telling. It's a very good Eastern telling of, you should be noble and sacrifice your time and effort for the good of everyone. It's also kind of a Western thing, too. But in the Western sense, in the Western sense, Izzy would just get a big gun and go kill the dragon and solve everyone's problem that way. Because in the Western sense, this authority figure would be the opposition. In an Eastern storytelling sense, the authority figure would be the almighty, the all-affirming of who you are and what you want to do. So Palak needs to have an understanding of himself, but he needs to have the same problem. Because Palak is going to be kind of a clone character of Izzy. So Palak knows what he wants. See, that's the thing that's going to draw Izzy to Palak. I know what I want. That's what Izzy is going to be perplexed and drawn in by. Not just this cute fuzzy lad whose little whiskers go when he laughs. That he's gonna notice that too, but he's gonna notice that Palak is genuine. Palak is affirmative in his own feelings. The problem is that even though he knows what he wants, he's scared no one will accept it. He's scared. I only wish people would accept it. Accepting me. Because here's the thing. Whenever you see a problem with your performance, you're not worried that people are going to think you're bad at what you're doing, and that if you're worried about how people are gonna feel about you when you go up on stage and, you know, try to do a cool dance or sing a song or put on a performance or, you know, Dungeon Master or D&D, you're not worried that you're going to be a bad, not good enough. You're worried that people are going to reject you, and then they will either leave you or abuse you. And it's kind of like the social structure that we're going to start building for these two characters. Izzy is going to learn from Palak what he wants, and Izzy is going to show Palak how he can get what he wants. Because here's another thing. Izzy is the one who has to deal with people. Even though Izzy doesn't consider his own feelings much, he has to go out there and push for the Conclave. He has to get the Conclave's goals in the bag. So he can actually roughhouse and Palak never swears. Izzy knows every swear and will say it. Okay, there we have our characters. It's looking beautiful. We know what their problem is somewhat. First, we need to clarify, what does Palak want to do? He doesn't want to work on a boat anymore. He doesn't want to be on a boat anymore. He wants to make a life transition. And that life transition is going to be, I want to dance. On land. I imagine he can dance on his boat perfectly fine, but like Izzy, he is isolated in his job, in his career. So Palak wants to pursue an art style, like a style of expressing himself in a way that will make him feel, you know, like he is himself, that he is a valid individual, and, you know, also taking care of his own, you know, needs. Because being a Sawbones, That's great and all, but we already know that he doesn't have a supportive... See, here's the thing. Does not have a good support network. There. There, I said it. Guess what? Does not have a good support network. See? And that's how we're gonna tell a good story. That's how the story is gonna be great and perfect and beautiful. There, we did it. We don't have to do anything else. The story wrote itself. We're done. NaNoWriMo. How are we going to turn this into 50,000 words? Easy. We sit down and write it. It's fucked up, I know. So, there. And that's the big thing that I've learned recently from therapy. For some people, objective goals are the way to proceed. For some people, that works. I need to write 500 words a day. That's perfect. Does not work for me anymore. That used to work, not anymore. If it's 500 words, I'll write 250. If it's 250 words, I'll do a character outline. If it's a character outline, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll listen to an audiobook so I can learn more about it, of the topic that I need to write about. I need to write about that topic. I got to get back to my word count. Here's my new writing ethic. Show effort. How do I show effort? I contribute the best I can when I feel that I can. And I don't hold myself accountable to standards that simply don't work for me. I might, in fact, lose track of this over time. I might have to go write something else because I just don't have the juices to creative my way into making this, work in front of me. Thankfully, I have the juices. So, here's what we have. 2 characters. Let's write this again. Let's do one more outline. Izzy is a kobold of the conclave and honored with the duty presenting lemon sorbet to their dragon, or else his dragon teeth will wither to an ancient curse known as scurvy. You know what? It's not a curse. It is not ancient. It's just a mythic interpretation. Fucking scurvy. That's going to be the big... See, when you're writing your outline and you're writing your characters, you want to have a little space where you can, put ideas for little revelations or little scenes that you really think would be fun to write. I really want to write a fucking scene where Izzy is like, okay, listen, I need that lemon sorbet. Why? Why do you need this much vitamin C? And he's like, this ancient curse will wither the dragon's teeth. They will fall from his jaws, and we will be defenseless. What kind of toothless dragon can protect their conclave? And Palik will be like, that's fucking scurvy. I see that every fucking day. What? There, that's a scene I want to write. There. Effort! I'm contributing! Alright. Closest. The closest harbor of such delicacies. Delicates. Delicacies, not delicates. Delicacies! I need a different song. I really want to play Janelle Monáe. But I want Bill Wirtz instead. I don't have enough time to do the things I want to say, to do the things I want to do, to be like you. Alright, the closest harbor of such delicacies is Riptide. Ah, that's a good town name, Riptide Harbor. Maybe that's, maybe harbor? Riptide Shores, maybe? Something like that. Riptide, Rip Fart. So, where, let's fix this. There. We're the only bargain he has ever made. I don't know. We need to know where the vitamin C has gone. I don't know. There needs to be a reason for vitamin C to be Riptide Bay. That's good. You're amazing. Thank you, Shaw. Okay, so Riptide Bay. Whoa! It's Riptide Bay. A place of scum and villainy. A place of scum and vitamin C shortages. Okay, see, this is still an outline, but we're already we're chipping away. We're defining things about the setting and our characters. Immediately, I want to say there's something happening with the supply line that has made things difficult to get supplies necessary for vitamin C production. I'm tempted to go ahead and use the Ottoman Empire's, what was it? Was it posies? What was the Ottoman Empire posies? Posies? Flowers? There was an Ottoman Empire who... There was an Ottoman Sultan who literally broke the market for flowers of a particular species because he thought it was cool. And so he filled his entire palace with these fucking gardens, and guess what? Everybody sold the Ottoman Empire flowers, and whole fucking thing tanked. Istanbul was just flooded. So here's what I think is happening. The fantasy Ottoman Sultan, tulips! It was tulips! Oh fuck, dude. The Ottoman Empire. Tulips! Alright, yeah, okay. Tulips. That's what it was. It was tulips. Fantasy Ottoman Empire. Emperor. He's not an emperor, he's a sultan! Fantasy Ottoman Sultan. Is eaten of the sacred vitamin C fruit. And that shit is gone. Everyone sold it. And now the stalls are bereft of such things. This happens. This happens in real life. Shit gets fucked up because one rich guy is like, give me this. I would like to experience the tulip era. Okay, so let's see. It always comes back to the Ottoman Empire for me. I always rip out stories from the Ottoman Turks, and I turn them into this. We'll have to do another stream where I bring you guys on a journey to The Acts of Spite, which is my novel that I'm working on, that everybody is working on. Okay. I think I understand. Man, Shah, from the Janissaries to how slavery is justified within the context of Ottoman Muslim practice, and how that market was constructed and justified is astounding. Not only that, but everybody focuses on the harem. Man, I want to know what's going on between the Grand Vizier and the Sultan's bedchambers. I mean, they're like next door to each other. You know, shit happened. God, my boy. What was his name? We should do a stream all about Osman. Osman's wife. Osman. Fuck. Woman. This is stupid. I'm literally googling Ottoman Osman house woman. Woman Grand Vizier. God, what the fuck, dude? I'm fucked up. It's because I've done so much studying on other bullshit. God, where is she? This is fucked up. I'll have to do this later. I'm falling down a hole. I'm falling down a hole. And I'm not going to come out of it. Alright, so here's the thing. Here's what we got. Everybody sold it. Now the stalls are bereft of such things. Save for one ship. Palak. Still recovering from the latest journey across the 19 seas. 19. I love that. The ninja. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Get rid of that. The 19 seas. The 19 seas with a hole full of exactly what Izzy is looking for. Alright, this is how they meet. The new price. Gossip. Price, however, the amount necessary will, the vitamin C will be negligent. Negligent? What is this? Characterized by neglect. No, not that. It's a word that means less of. Will be insufficient. See, that's why I love Scrivener. With Scrivener, you can just like look up synonyms. You can look up definitions. Blah blah blah. I'm out of the Ottoman hole. Fuck yes. Oh, get out of the Ottoman hole. Okay, so. Tradition dictates Izzy must now take instead of barter. Halleck, keen on his new friend out of trouble. Perhaps. Ow, fucking no. There, that's it. That's the first act. Fucking Izak of the Conclave comes down from the mountain, walks into town. I have been listening to Bill Wirtz for literally like 10 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. Sims 3, please. This is it. The Crick Conclave needs vitamin C. They send their barter kobold to take advantage of the markets of the humans and the elves and all the other creatures that live in this terrible Riptide Bay. And wouldn't you know it, the Ottoman Sultan of this fantasy world, the Ottomans, the Motomans, the Motomans, they fucking love the vitamin C fruit. So that lemon cake, that sorbet can't be made. It will not defeat the curse of scurvy unless Izak can get the last ship that was late to the party to give him his entire load. Fuck. Ebo be bye bye. Ebo be bye bye. Okay, so there. That's the problem. Halleck, who's going to be a clone of Izzy, recognizes that Izzy is about to do a dumb thing. Fuck. Oh my god. I'm so out of sorts with streaming. I'm already an hour in. Let's do this until 8 o'clock on my end. It's like 9 more minutes. And then we'll call effort done. I did my effort. I contributed. Okay, so Halleck is the sawbones on this ship, which means he takes care of everybody, health-wise and diet-wise. He doesn't want to be there anymore, but it's his job and his only means of livelihood. I don't think this ship is captained by rat folk. I think he's the sole rat folk, and it could be. I don't know if the kobolds would be like maybe with their dragon like a hive queen, but like those are details that future outlines will probably tell us about. But right now, we need to make the change that will happen with our characters concrete, so that we know how the story is going to end. We already know how the story is going to end, but we need to have an understanding on the peak. We need these peaks of change. So Izzy is ready to use the latter part of his barter skills, which is straight up fucking steal it. Probably not gonna work. Too late. Maybe Izzy steals and fails and is now in trouble. See, we've reached that point where I don't know how to proceed from here. And Palak does something to bail him out. I don't know. With dancing. Let me shake my ass, it'll get you out of jail. No. Because Izzy hasn't learned, at this point in the story, that they need to think about what they want instead of what the Conclave demands of him. And Palak wants to quit his job and live the life of a landlubber. They don't have good support networks. So how do they create a support network for themselves in Riptide Bay? Not by becoming thieves. You could, but that's not the kind of story I want to tell. I don't want to tell a story of urban dealings where there's like a thieves guild and there's like a boatman's guild and they're at odds with each other, and then it's this like horrible like we were gonna sell those to the Motoman Sultan. What are we gonna do now? Now the town will be razed and destroyed. That's not cozy fantasy. That's not very cozy. He fails, but gets the cash. Maybe they want to dance off. I don't know. That we could have a dance off. Maybe. There's supposed to be a lot of fun. There's supposed to be a lot of fun in cozy fantasy sometimes. There's a lot of struggle too, but here's the thing. Palak teaches Izzy of the non-legitimacy of the scurvy curse. Okay, so here's what it is. No, Izzy must steal for the Conclave. He goes to steal, gets caught by Palak. Palak teaches Izzy of the non-legitimacy of the scurvy curse. So, because of the upped prices, Izzy has no choice but to go to DEFCON 0. He needs to steal. I want to steal. And from there, he tries to do the stealing, but Palak at this point knows. He kind of expects it. I don't know. I don't fucking know yet. There's a lot about their relationship we haven't built up yet. Maybe they tried to, like, argue for a fair price. Maybe they tried to come to an accord with the ship captain and the person who wants to buy these, like, the vitamin C fruit. And Palak is outbid because, you know, a representative of the Motoman Empire might actually be here buying up all the fruit. That fucking sucks. And so he goes to steal some. Palak catches him and is like, no, dude, that's bad. You're gonna get in trouble. And he's like, I have no choice. This is the only way to defeat the scurvy curse. And Palak was like, well, is there any other way to defeat this curse? And he's like, no. What are the symptoms? And he's like, oh, well, his teeth will fall out and they bleed and he's really tired and all that stuff. And he's like, does he like pear maybe? He's like, no. Does he eat like, do you guys feed him like, I don't know, an orange? What is this orange you speak of? It's 2 minutes till 8. I need that last boost. Okay. Now they must put their heads together. Find a way to change the ways of the conclave so that they can redistribute and establish a resourcefulness away from their isolated nature. Then they hold hands. Story done. We did it. We got like 30 seconds to spare. Fuck yeah. And then they do a dance off. There, we did it. We did the outline for the NaNoWriMo book that I'm going to write. There's going to be 50,000 pages to words. Okay.
I did it! Yay!
Happy face. This is the dragon, by the way. Yay! Okay. What do we do now? Stop this. Stop this. Stop that. I have no idea. I'm done. Let's save our work. There, I showed you how to do a pitch. I also showed you how to create characters that have change at the core of their story. Because our minds, our brains, the cortex is obsessed with cataloging change and understanding it. And that means if we put it in our stories will be successful. Probably. We have to do other things like fill them with attributes that fit into a niche. I haven't done a NaNoWriMo in like 6 years, Shaw. It's oof. It's oof. But in any case, I'm going to post this up on YouTube because I think it's actually a very handy-dandy little leap into, you know, how my process works. And also just to force me to continue to follow up on this. Like, I talked about, you know, putting myself in the public eye. That works for me. I feel as though I'm better at putting up a performance for what I perceive to be something that people can learn from and use for their own betterment. And that makes me better in the same vein. So, you know, that's great. Fuck yeah. Hail Satan. Let's go ahead and how do I stop these streams now? It used to be, I wish I had TSRP. I wish I had my GTRP back. Exactly. Where are my Satan stuff? God damn it. No. Where is Satan? Where? The third tenet of the Satanic Temple teaches us that one's body is inviolable and subject to one's own will alone. Create a support network of people you love and trust. This does not necessarily mean your family. And it especially counts tiny 3-foot creatures that hold hands and eat sorbet. I wish I had a sorbet. Do I have a sorbet? Hold on, let me look through my yum-yums. What do I got here? I don't need the ball bite. Where are my yum-yums? Where are my yum-yums? Do I have an ice cream yum-yum? I have this. Here's a lemon cake for everybody. Here. Yummy. Delicious. I'm so glad. Here, I'll share it with you. There you go. I hope everyone enjoys their yum yum lemon cake. Yay! Yum 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 yum. Ah, please, don't eat it too fast. It's gone! Shaw, you ate it all by yourself! What the fuck? At least I only gave you a slice. Alright, everybody. If you like this, comment, tell me how you learned from it. Tell me about the stories you want to write and might write. It's tasty, I'm sorry! Tell me what you think about Palak and Izak. Palak is probably going to be non-binary and go by they, them. But Izzy is going to be a big, muscly kobold with a big paunch, and we'll go from there. I really had fun. I love doing spontaneous things like this, and I'll probably do them in the future. In any case, I hope everyone has a special and splendid Friday tomorrow. It's going to be 12 hours of equestrian center duty for me. So I will not stream. I will not write. I will enjoy myself. Please do so in your own adventures. Alright, goodbye. Shaw, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. I really enjoyed this, and I'm super glad that you were here to experience this with me. Hooray. Hail Satan. Goodbye.